Is the publishing space of Amazon KDP too saturated? Has your opportunity now vanished where publishing books on Amazon KDP is probably not worth the effort? Or is there an opportunity still to be able to create books? Now, my name is Romney, and thank you very much for joining me on today's video. If you haven't been to my channel before, then welcome. Today's video will be about discussing the saturation point of Amazon KDP and maybe the things that you need to be doing to create what I call a separation point between you and your competition. Now, when we're talking about a separation point, it's that gap between what you're doing and what your competitors are doing. And you need to ask the question to yourself, what is my separation point? What is it that I'm doing where I'm not getting caught up in the crowd, and therefore it could get very, very crowded in your space? Now, I often see many videos, and I've also been guilty of creating these videos a little while back, talking about how to create composition notebooks or line journals, talking about logbooks, those kinds of books. Now, those books in the no content or the low content space are getting particularly crowded, particularly in some kinds of categories and niches. And you need to be mindful of that. And we do know that Amazon KDP will continue to remain popular as long as Amazon provide a platform that allows you to create books and upload them for free. And that includes a free ISBN as well. If you're prepared, though, to do a few things a bit differently, think through a strategy that might be a bit different from what other publishers are doing, then you can, in fact, create that separation point and create quality, high-value books that you can actually have a higher price point on that will allow you to create more sales and more revenue for your publishing business. So what are these kinds of books? Well, for me personally, I moved towards creating children's books about maybe 8 to 12 months ago. And so that has been my separation point, because I've been able to find that by creating these children's books, I'm moving out of the space of definitely of no content. Children's books could still be considered low content, but they're in their own kind of category. Now, creating children's books does prove to be a little bit harder and more challenging, but you need to be prepared to face that challenge if you want to create that separation from what the group is for, or the larger proportion of KDP publishers are doing. So you would already probably be aware we've got our no content, our low content books, and our high content books. There's a few books that probably fit in the middle a bit there as well. So if you're creating a learn to write book and you put a fair bit of work into creating that, then it could be almost like a mid content point kind of book. It's not no content. It's better than, or there's more information than a low content book, but it's definitely not a 30,000 word book like a high content book might be, or more. But a children's book will require you to do that extra work, such as potentially engaging an illustrator. You need to write the manuscript or the storyline. You could outsource that element. In fact, you could outsource all elements of creating a children's book or a children's picture storybook. But you might have that talent yourself to create most things, or you just might need to outsource the illustrations. But my question to you for this video will be, what are you personally doing to create your separation point? Because I've seen it before where people are creating these books, they're getting ideas that might appear on YouTube or other places, and you think, yeah, I might create a cut and paste low content book. I've seen that on YouTube. It looks quite simple. I might create that. The problem is, if it's simple to create, then what's stopping 1,000 people creating that book, or more, 10,000 people just creating that book? But if you can find a nice little niche, a good category in a children's picture storybook, then that can create a world of opportunities for you. And there's no reason why you can't create a series of those kinds of books as well. So what I've recently done is create a course about how to create a children's book or even a children's picture storybook. In fact, during that course, I create my own children's picture storybook, and you look over my shoulder as I create that book. Because I want to show you what is possible by just doing a few things a bit differently, by leaning on my experience of creating these children's picture storybooks and creating that separation point. And I think that if you want to remain doing self-publishing, then you do need to think carefully about what your long-term strategy is going to be. What kind of books are you going to continue to create? Because if you decide to stay in the no content space, or even kinds of books in the low content space, you might be overwhelmed with a lot of competition. If not now, well, maybe in 12 months' time. And some of these children's picture storybooks you can find are what we call evergreen books. And they can be fantastic books that you can create that will continue on and on and on and for years to come. With some low content books, they tend to maybe have a short lifespan. And that's the important thing about creating what I said and what I've referenced to throughout this video is that separation point. So think carefully about that. I want you to be able to succeed in this, and I don't want you to become overwhelmed with creating a lot of low content books or no content books and just publishing and publishing and publishing and not getting the results because you're being swamped by other people that are all doing the same thing. And you need to think for the long term as well. Yes, I've got courses out there that talk about the creation of no content books and low content books, and they're very much a great opportunity to learn the process. And yes, creating some of those books just to get an idea of how to bring them together and publish them are all parts of this experience that you do learn from. And you learn these skills and knowledge and learning how to do niche research. And that all comes together perfectly well for creating children's picture storybooks as well. But it just might be another space that you may have thought about but weren't really sure how to get it all together, how to put a book like that together. So think carefully about all of this. And if you were interested in creating a children's picture storybook and you weren't really sure of the steps, then my course might be something that will help you to gain those skills and be able to excel at creating those books and create a long-term future for your publishing. And in fact, those kinds of books are the ones that I actually enjoy doing the most. They might take a bit longer. There's a bit more effort involved, potentially a bit more an investment, front-end investment to make those books, but they are really, really enjoyable to make. And to know that I'm having a positive impact on the children that are getting those books, that makes me smile as well. So thanks very much for watching this video today. I do hope you've got something out of it. If anything, it's just got you thinking about what you need to do to move from where you are now to another level and really move forward of that saturation point of KDP, which maybe no content books are now moving into that space. And there could be changes within KDP for that kind of book that could impact that as well. So now is probably a really good time to learn a new skill of creating books in the publishing space that you may not have done before. So thanks very much for watching this video. I really hope you got some value out of it. And until my next video, I'll see you then.